Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how the GT team, or basically how this old school or semi-old school GT team does in PvP, and basically discuss why we're seeing old school or older units kind of make a bit of a comeback. So there's a couple reasons. The first one is obviously I think we're hitting complexity cap when it comes to legends. So we've got unique gauges, we've got revive skills, we've got reverse unique gauges, we've got standby skills, we've got AoE attacks, we've got non-AoE attacks, we've got paralyze, we've got poison, we've got so many different things now. We've got rush nullifiers, rush gainers, we've got cover change nullifiers now. So realistically there's not too much more that units can do in legends, basically. And what that means is when they're zenkaiing some of these older units and kind of jigging them for the meta, they're starting to last a bit longer, especially the legends limited characters. So for example, Yellow Goku, Yellow SS4 Goku is a unit I'm using here. He's not insane in the meta, but he's pretty good. He still has a lot that makes him super usable. He has the ability to, completely nullify a cover change damage. Barring UI Goku, it's something that's super duper useful. Even with the amount of cover change that goes around right now, the way SS4 Goku's cover change works is really awesome. Plus, his ultimate damage is still really high. You're gonna see a little bit throughout the video how his like special damage, his blue card damage, his ultimate card damage is high. It's very high, especially if you have his back up against the wall. He can still do some really decimating damage. His green card is still really strong. So in reality, we just have an incredibly strong level of really good units. And I think for me, like, that kind of understanding, I think is really good. So yeah, for me, honestly speaking, I think this kind of like GT team still functions really well off the premise that the Legends limited characters are pretty good. I'm using the SS4 Gogeta, and of course he's the most recent Zenkai, and his Zenkai is really good. I think it was a well done Zenkai. Obviously he has his plat equip. Him and Goku have their plat equip, which obviously is a factor when you are assessing why is this team still functioning so well. And yeah, it's in part because of those plats as well. Yellow Goku has a very good plat that gives him a lot of damage inflicted and reduces his card cost, which is very important. You then also have green Gogeta's plat, which is also very important, providing a lot of Dragon Ball disruption and just in general very strong abilities. The thing is with legends, there is a limit to how far back a team can go, of course. Look at the team I'm facing. All of these units are also Zenkai units, but they definitely don't pack the heat of the GT team. And that's because I think, how can I say, Yellow Goku and Gogeta are on the right side of the divide. I think it's very important to understand that units that Zenkai'd, I'd probably say within the last year or year and a half, are considerably more consistent than the Zenkais that occurred before, especially the Legends limited ones. They feel like they're all on roughly a very similar power spec. I would say most of Legends over the last year especially has felt like units on a similar power spec. I haven't really felt a unit that has absolutely dominated or incinerated the meta recently in Legends. There's been units that have been incredibly strong at any given point. Planet Namek Goku was very good. Red Vegito probably being the closest to being dominant, and even he was not dominant for too long. They're all still very good units as well. There's nothing wrong with any of them. but it's the fact that over the last year it feels like we've had very good horizontal unit development, and that's kind of what's making a lot of these older Zenkai still feel good. I mean, like here I'm looking at Yellow SS4 Goku. Again, doing decent damage. Yes, a red unit gets switched in and he doesn't do big damage, but you have to appreciate everything that comes with it. The tag SS4s, of course, a unit that is a high volume damage dealer with very minimal tankiness. They benefit from very similar Zenkai boosts to Gogeta, so they're kind of getting a little bit of a second wind right now because of obviously being able to double up on the green boosts. And yeah, of course, they still do high volume damage. I think the equips are also helping. Obviously, with every kind of rejigging they do of teams, essentially they basically, I want to say automatically, kind of rejig all the equips, which is very, very important. I find that adding in all those equips is something super duper important. Essentially helps out a lot with basically, doing good damage. So yeah, realistically speaking, I think the way they're designing categories is working. I mean, I spoke recently about how teams like the Ginyu Force are great kind of things for Legends and how they can upgrade things, and I think this GT team is showing how with the right kind of Zenkai philosophies you can keep teams relevant. I mean, I don't have the blue Goku here, and I've been doing quite fine with this team. Obviously, having blue Goku would also elevate this team. If you had the blue GT Goku, this team would be much, much better. It's no doubting that. And I'm not saying that you don't, that using only old school units is still going to get you through. But the point is more that you can use a team like this with just maybe the most recent Zenkai and a whole bunch of units that are by no means the most current units in the game, and you can have a really, really good time. You can honestly have a very competitive time, and I think that's good. I think that shows that the game philosophy is moving in the right direction. I think that shows that the team design philosophy is in a good place, and it also shows as well that we're starting to get I don't want to say critical mass because it's not really the right word, because critical mass kind of means critical mass kind of means we're about to implode. But I mean, we're kind of reaching the point where we have so many good Zenkai and boost options and things like that when you're building a team at any given time nowadays, you have at least one Zenkai boost for a unit. In most cases, you'll have two. And this puts most teams on a fair playing field, especially in the beginning. Things like the all-purple team worked because there was such a heavy consensus on having God Key or Saiyan purples and purple Zenkai boosts that team became overwhelmingly good. Now, any given team can have, the GT team, can have two blue Zenkai boosts running at the same time as two green Zenkai boosts and still have two great Legends Limited characters running at the same time. So it's just very impressive in how they've designed everything. But yeah, for me, I think honestly speaking, it's a really, really good team and a really fun time. And yeah, I think it's in a good space. Obviously, it's all going to depend for other players, how they're finding the experience. And of course, you could push things further. I could perfect my gear, although I used a lot of slot removers to get these red slots. I could also boost. I still have plenty Zenkai space on my Super 17. I have plenty Zenkai space on my Yellow Vegeta. So this team could still get better. And right now it's currently, at least as of me doing the voiceover for this video, in the 60s in terms of PvP, and it's feeling good. So yeah, I would definitely say don't be scared to give older units a try, and yeah, definitely try things out. There's units now that are still really good.